Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from the beautiful Carolinas. Today's topic is going to be when you finally escape the narcissistic fog. Think about that for a minute. Everyone, if you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share. So the narcissistic fog, what is this? This is a place where you were trapped for a period of time, which usually was the length of the narcissistic relationship. And actually, it happened, you stay trapped in that part post-relationship until you've healed properly. The narcissistic fog is something that you do not want to encounter. It's a place where, first of all, you did not know it existed. Second of all, you didn't know how to get out of it. Third of all, you did not know what kind of relationship you were in, most likely a toxic narcissistic relationship. Fourth or fifth of all, the narcissist placed you there. Yes, they did. And they knew what they were doing to you. They knew that your resources would become depleted throughout the whole body of the relationship, which include your time, money, energy, effort, love, empathy, your status, your social circle, your health, everything that you had. It was decimated and it was taken from you because you were providing for the narcissist and you were working for the narcissistic relationship. You were a trained individual, a groomed individual, someone who was being controlled. You were being monitored. The pulse of the relationship, the resource depletion on your behalf. In other words, the narcissist was watching your resources become depleted, and they were checking the temperature of you. They were watching to see if you could figure out where you were, what you were doing, and if you would deduce that they in fact are a narcissistic individual. Now, having said all these things, the narcissistic fog, when you finally wake up to the fact that you were manipulated and you were used and abused and you were taken advantage of because you were looked at as an opportunity. You were not looked at as a beautiful, bright, shining light the way I see you and the way the people in the community see you. You were looked at as somebody who the narcissist could target. Perhaps you were an empath or are an empath or a people pleaser or a yes person, or you couldn't say the strongest word in the English language, which in fact is no. Remember, when you say no to something or someone, you are saying yes to yourself. The narcissist knew this, and they knew throughout the body of the relationship that not only could they ensnare you in their web of manipulation, but they could also keep you trapped there in that narcissistic fog where it's a zombie-like, trance-like state. You are just doing everything you possibly can to get back to that euphoric / love bomb stage or the inception of the relationship when everything seemed too good to be true, because it was. Now, having said that, escaping the narcissistic fog, when you finally do this, what will happen is you will have received a few messages, some light bulb moments, if you will. Perhaps you were communicating with a friend, an acquaintance, somebody in a beauty salon or somebody in an office. And that individual, you were just having average conversation with them. And perhaps you were explaining to them about your relationship. And what happened? Well, they said, wait a minute, that sounds like a toxic narcissistic relationship. You may want to look at this or this. And you're thinking to yourself, first of all, I don't know what this is. Second of all, no, I'll get through it. I'm fine. And then it sank in your head. And perhaps you went home that evening and you took that person's counsel. You took their sage, wise words and you researched it and you typed in the browser on Google, spouse won't talk to me, or you went on YouTube and typed in narcissism, whatever you did. And lo and behold, boom, boom, boom. There are your first light bulb moments. Your jaw drops. You perhaps cried or screamed or panicked. You froze. You certainly were anxious. You were anxiety riddled because now reality has begun to set in. Now you're understanding that the toxic narcissistic relationship that you were a part of, that you did not even know you were a part of, there's a name for it, and there's a community, and there is a whole bunch of us out here on the planet who have endured the toxicity of the narcissistic relationship. And we too were trapped for a period of time in the narcissistic fog. We were isolated. We became an extension of the narcissist. We were working for the narcissist, and everything took a hit in our life. Our relationships, our status, social circle, money, health, everything like I mentioned. The narcissist knew this. They saw this, and they were watching you become depleted more and more over time. And as they did this, they even then pushed you as far as they possibly could to take as much from you as they possibly could. The whole time they were doing that, they were looking for your replacement, i.e. the new supply or new sources of supply. They were looking for a fresh fuel tank, which at one point was you. Remember, when you met the narcissist, you most likely, first of all, were in a vulnerable position. 2, you didn't know your worth or your value. 3, you did not have your guard up. In other words, you didn't have boundaries, most likely. And 4, perhaps you were looking for a certain thing. Maybe you wanted to fall in love. Maybe you wanted to strike up a friendship, go into business, have a family, relocate. Who knows what you wanted to do, but the narcissist glommed onto you. They figured out what your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations were, and they tried to attack those each and every day when you were in the relationship. That's why when you were in the relationship in the beginning, it moved at light speed. It moved so quickly, and your head was spinning. It was like you were on the best roller coaster of your life, because that's exactly what it was meant to do to you. It was meant to have you believe that this person is the best person on the planet, and they have your best interest at heart. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be further from the truth. This individual was trying to take you down. They were trying to take your soul. They were trying to take your resources. And when they got whatever they wanted, and believe me, they got most of it, if not all of it, what they did is they crumbled you up like a sheet of paper and threw you away on the side of the freeway, because the mask had then slipped. They didn't have to keep that mask super glued to their face and keep on the charade, or keep on acting, or keep on performing. Because the narcissist, remember, at their heart, at their core, I should say, not their heart, at their core, they're empty, they're shallow, they're full of anxiety. They are cowards and they are bullies, and they need to abuse other individuals and take from other individuals, other unsuspecting individuals many times, because they go through their life like a bull in a china shop. They just destroy each and every relationship they become a part of, but yet they look to create new relationships, because the former relationships will implode eventually, and they need new relationships to take the place of the former ones. That's what I'm talking about with the new supply. The cycle continues. It will go on and on and on. The only way you escape the narcissistic fog is, like I mentioned, you got those light bulb moments from a friend or an acquaintance, and then you applied those tools that you were getting on my channel and many others, and you're understanding, wait, there actually is a reason I need to get out of this, because the relationship is not improving, number one. Number two, going no contact, blocking the narcissist, removing all people and or flying monkeys associated with them is the path. If not now, when? Another thing I need to mention, a caveat, is if you can't block the narcissist, I get it. Many times people are tethered to the narcissist, and the narcissist had you become tethered to them on purpose, because you were their fuel source. You were the person who was giving them a roof over their head, or paying their bills, or paying their phone bill, or providing a lifestyle for them, or giving them money, or making them look good, or all of the above. And once you figure out who this person is, breaking free from them can be quite challenging. If you're trying to divorce the narcissist, I get it. If you raised kids or have kids with the narcissist, maybe you're waiting till they turn a certain age before you can divorce the narcissist or move forward with your life. Another reason you may still be tethered is you own property or a house, and the narcissist just won't leave. You've gone from romance to roommates, which means you're now living in one of the wings in the house and they're living in the other. And opening that front door each and every day is getting more and more challenging for you. But the narcissist thrives in this environment, because it's an environment built for two, for you and for them, and they are living off of your not feeling good, let's put it that way. Having said all these things, when you finally escape the narcissistic fog, you will be entering a place that I call the unknown. This is where challenges will be in front of you, but all of these challenges will be for a reason. They will to get you out of the narcissistic relationship, out of the fog, and to have you understand that there's a much higher purpose in your life. Existing in the narcissistic fog is not where anybody should be 1 minute longer than they need to be. Living and thriving and growing and teaching and becoming awakened and aware, educated and empowered is the path. The whole purpose for the narcissistic fog, whether you want to accept this or not, it was a part of your life that you had to go through. There was no other way. You may think to yourself, well, wait a minute, I could have done so many different things and not existed in the narcissistic fog. Not so fast. Remember, there's no such thing as a coincidence on this planet. You had to go through that relationship to get to this point in time with me right here, right now, because you're getting the wisdom. You are applying the tools. You're understanding that that relationship almost took you down for the count, but it didn't. You are still here with us, and you're becoming stronger each and every day. Now, the healing path, as I mentioned, it's not linear. It will take time, and in your time, you will heal. That is my hope. If you do what I suggest on the channel and in the videos, which is be patient, be calm, be stoic, be reserved, be centered, be focused, and understand that you did have to go through that relationship. There was no other way. Putting that aside, the way to heal is to slow your life down, to do things in your time, to become educated, to understand that that relationship was a lifelong learning lesson. And yes, you will have many challenges in front of you. Breaking the trauma bond will be one. Understanding that the person, the narcissist, never loved you would be number two. Number 3 would be there will be many casualties of the narcissistic relationship, including kids or stepkids or friends or acquaintances or hobbies or locations or cities or countries or songs. There are so many casualties of the narcissistic relationship, but these all must be shed. You cannot hold on to these things because it won't serve you. Now, having said that, remember, this is very important. The narcissistic relationship was a relationship that you weren't prepared for. You weren't taught this in school. You didn't even know that these relationships existed, yet you went through one and or are going through one right now. This is something many people don't experience to the degree that you have experienced it. It is a challenge. It's a challenge that you must meet and you must beat. You must accept this challenge to heal properly. There is no other way than to go through this narcissistic, post-narcissistic relationship. No one's going to come knock on your door. No one is going to rescue you or save you. This is going to be a mental battle. It's going to be a physical battle. It's going to be a financial battle. It's going to be an emotional battle. It will be a spiritual battle. But all of these encompass what is called life. And this life, this is your journey. You had to experience that relationship. You had to exit the narcissistic fog, and you had to practice radical acceptance and understand that, yes, in fact, that person didn't ever care about me. All they cared about is what I provided, and now they're doing the exact same thing with another individual, i.e. the new supply, or other individuals right now. Understand this one also. Be kind to yourself. Don't put the blame on yourself. You did not know what you were up against. When you met the narcissist, as I mentioned previously, you were most likely in a vulnerable position, meaning perhaps you just exited another relationship. Perhaps you had a death in the family. Maybe you just moved. Maybe you just relocated. Maybe you just started a job. Maybe you just joined a hobby or an organization where the narcissist sized you up. Maybe you just joined a religious group and the narcissist sized you up. Who knows? Maybe you moved in and the narcissist was your neighbor. Maybe they were a tenant in the building in a condominium where you live. Who knows? But the narcissist saw you, and they saw your beautiful, bright, shining light, and they wanted to extinguish it or capture it for a period of time. And that is where they placed you, in the narcissistic fog, in the zombie-like, trance-like state, in the low vibrational quagmire where the narcissist exists. You, the person on the channel consuming the content, you exist high, higher than the sun and the stars and the moon. And the narcissist knew this, and they knew that they couldn't exist up there unless they stole your energy from you, which is exactly what they accomplished for the length of the relationship. Now, once you heal and you exit the narcissistic fog, and you take your time and you methodically are patient with yourself, and you understand that the healing path, in fact, is not linear. When you do these things and you process childhood wounds, you journal, you see a therapist, you meditate, you read, you watch videos, you really focus on yourself. You enter a place I call the cocoon of boundaries. When you do that and you really are kind to yourself, in time you will heal. And along with healing comes the knowledge and the wisdom. And what is this? This is when you now have boundaries. This is when you now look back on the narcissistic relationship and you say to yourself, wow, that thing almost took me down for the count. It didn't. I am so grateful that I went through it and got out of it. And now I'm grateful for the wisdom I've acquired, the knowledge I've attained, and the boundaries I have in place. And I can now pay it forward to other people on the planet if they choose to take the counsel and the wisdom that I provide. That's what I do. That's what you should do also. But remember, you should only do this if your cup is full, which means if you have reached the pinnacle of indifference, the mountaintop of indifference, you've broken the chains of the narcissistic relationship, you want nothing to do with the narcissist or anybody from that period of time, because that was a lifetime ago. You are now thriving. You now have a much smaller social circle. Perhaps you've fallen in love again, you've relocated, but you now know your worth and you now know what you want to accomplish in the next phase of your life. You will no longer be trapped in the narcissistic fog because you've escaped it. You escaped someplace where you didn't even know you were existing. And number two, you escaped a place that everybody that enters that place, not everybody escapes it, because many people stay trapped in that narcissistic fog. Many people don't even know what they're up against. That's not you. You're on the channel getting the wisdom, and you are applying the tools, and you are understanding that you are a very fortunate person. You may not just see it right now, but eventually you will see it. I was once where you are. I was once a person that did not have much to look forward to, yet here I am, and now I am thriving. Now I am teaching. Now I am learning and growing and educating, and you will too once you come through this. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't ever stop. Continue to move forward each and every day. Continue to exit the narcissistic fog. Continue to enter your new life. Continue to focus on yourself. If not now, when? So guys, that's the video. I hope you liked it. I loved doing it from the beautiful Carolinas. This is Andrew. Namaste. Have a great afternoon, evening, or morning, no matter where you are on the planet. You're not alone. God bless you. I love you. And dogs are barking. So I'll talk to you guys later today. Bye.